I cooked a 2-pound chuck roast in the crock pot yesterday for 10 hours. It was so tender. It made the best broth. But what I do is I put the broth in a bowl and put it in the refrigerator till the next day to make beef vegetable soup with. And it is concentrated. And then I just lift off the fat. I'm trying to do this with one hand. I just lift out the fat, take it off. You see, I don't want to spill it here. And put it in. I'll just get rid of it. Okay. It just comes off in a whole piece, and there's no fat in there. There's just beautiful, beautiful broth. And it is concentrated, so I can add water to this, and it'll make the best beef soup. Okay, back soon. One of the first things I do is I cut up a medium red potato and 2 really small ones, and I dice them small. And I cook them separate because I don't like all that starch in the soup broth. And then when they're tender, I'll rinse them, put some cold water in them until I'm ready to put them in the soup. And then yesterday I had cooked 2-pound chuck roast, and we ate a little over a pound for supper. And what was left I cut up into smaller pieces to put in the soup today. And I stored it separate from the broth so that I could skim the fat off the broth. And I won't put this beef in until the soup is done and right at last for a couple minutes, because if you do, it's so tender from cooking it 10 hours yesterday in the crock pot that it'll just turn into strings in your soup, so I don't want it to do that. So I'll wait till last, and a few minutes when I'm ready to serve it, I'll put it in the pot. I used 1 can of stewed tomatoes. You could use 2 for a big pot of soup. And I love, love, love the Save-A-Lot brand. If you have a Save-A-Lot, it's tastier than any of them. If you can't find that, I think Contadina is the next best one. But I cut them up into small pieces. You can use a potato masher and even do it, because they're such big tomatoes and we don't like big bites of the tomatoes in the soup. And then I cut up a green pepper to put in there, and half of a medium onion, which I went ahead and put in with the broth, and let's see, 6 cups of water in the broth. And I put the onions in. I'll let the onions cook for a while, and then I'll put in the green peppers, and then I'll put in some corn, and at last I'll put in the potatoes and the meat. Oh, and tomato sauce. I think it takes 1 can, but it may take 2. I'll let you know. Here it is. Looks pretty yummy. Tastes pretty good. The beef still, because it was so tender for me cooking it so long yesterday, still wants to come apart in the soup, but it'll be good anyway. This is a huge bowl. I mean, it made a huge amount of soup. This is enough to feed probably, I don't know, 6 people a good amount of soup. But I don't know if I mentioned I put half of a can of whole kernel corn. I used GB from Walmart, drained it, and I put the potatoes in there, the green peppers, the onions, let's see what else, the beef, the stewed tomatoes, and a whole can of tomato sauce. But I think next time I'm just going to use half a can of tomato sauce, because I really like to be able to taste the beef flavor broth over the tomato sauce taste. It's up to you, your preference. But anyway, it was pretty easy. I'll put the ingredients in the description box below. And I did use my large rice cooker because it's just so easy to clean up. It makes a huge amount of soup, and the insert is real lightweight, lifts out, cleans up like a breeze. Okay, well, thanks for watching. Hope you try it. Bye-bye. I forgot to mention I put salt, pepper, garlic powder, and a little bit of onion powder in here. You can season it to taste. And I'm going to have peanut butter sandwiches with this. Yum, just like if I was eating chili. You can have crackers, that's good. My husband eats bread and butter, but I'm going to do a little taste test here and see how it is. Let's get everything in there. Yummy. I can taste the beef broth, so maybe I'll stick with a can of tomato sauce. Yum, that is good. Well, you can put whatever vegetables you want in here, but I like these. We like these in it. But anyway, makes a ton of soup for just a small amount of roast. And it's pretty yummy. Well, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.